Hey TMW fans, this is the Fit, Feel, and Finish episode for the 2020 Polaris Slingshot R. All apologies for the colors. I learned my lesson, no more fluorescent green hoodies on filming day. Just trying to show some URE pride. Let's get into it.
So let's talk about the controls, starting on the left-hand side of the cockpit. Here at the very left-hand side, you've got the turn signal stalk and the bright switch. Up, down for turn signals. Click it forward to turn the brights on or off. Left-hand side of the steering wheel, we've got your volume and phone control. So volume up, volume down, next track, previous track. And this is pause, play, and answer phone calls. Over here, we've got cruise control. This turns the cruise control on and off. Resume, set, of course, and then incremental reduce speed for the cruise control or increase speed for the cruise control. This button here is the rider pages. We'll talk about those in a moment. And then the big pretty red slingshot mode button and the horn in the middle. So I've got the keys in my pocket, so all I have to do to turn this thing on is push on the brake. Everything lights up. So here on the dash, we've got the speedometer, the LCD display with the fuel gauge, and then we've got the tachometer here. We've got some modes that we can go through. If we click through mode, so this is engine RPM, that's engine temperature, that's ambient temperature, speed, and then back to engine RPM, and then we can move up and down with these too. So we can switch this, there's ambient temperature, engine RPM, miles per hour in case you need 3 speedometers to keep track of your speed. There's the odometer, 4,700 miles. Trip 1, trip 2, the range with the amount of fuel remaining. You can see we're a little over half a tank and we've got 209.4 miles of range. That's the average fuel consumption, 31 miles to the gallon. Instant fuel consumption. You got your e-brake here in the middle, and then you've got your cup holders just to the right of the e-brake. That's new for this model year. Last year they were back here. This year they've moved them up next to the e-brake and given you a compartment here. We showed that in our storage video too. Nice big engine start stop button, traction control on and off, emergency flashers, and then this button here is for the inside cab lights.
Here's these lights here. You can see my feet. You can see my purse. So down is blue or up is white.
Lots of space in the glove box, and of course power outlets too, USB and a 12 volt. And then there's a USB power outlet here underneath the console. This is kind of difficult to get your USB plugged into and out of. It's got sort of a rubber boot around the outside of the USB port. I don't know if you can see that. But it's got this rubber boot around it that makes it sort of hard to feel when you're trying to plug a wire into it. So it takes a little bit of finesse. But it's nice to have it there. And then of course we've got one more 12 volt outlet here underneath the center. So for fit, I'm 6 foot tall, 190 pounds. I fit very nicely in the driver's seat. We've got these big, heavy bolsters on the sides of the seat that keep me from moving around much, and that's very comfortable. The seat does move back and forward. You can see the range of motion there, and then of course you can also recline the seat. It'll come forward or back. And then the seat belt's an easy reach over your shoulder. Pull it up between the buckles, down to the side and into the center. So you got plenty of room here in the footwell. So you got the brake, the accelerator, room for my left foot over here. It does get a little bit cramped trying to get my left leg around the speaker box here. So I tend to drive with, I'll tuck my foot up underneath my knee on this side. Something that would be nice, you see it's a smooth plastic floor down here. It would be nice to have a little bit of textured rubber down there or something so I could brace my foot. Like if you're trying to shift around in your seat, if you need to sit up a little bit or you're trying to keep your leg comfortable, there's really no traction or any sort of texture down there to brace your feet against. So it would be nice to have some texture down there to give you something to brace on. Our rear view mirrors, they're not power, they're just mounted on stalks, and then you can move the glass around with your fingers. A little tough to adjust when you're messing with them. And it's hard to reach them from where your head's going to be, so you have to adjust it and then lean forward, lean back with your seatbelt on, which can be difficult because the seatbelt tends to be a little grabby. For the right-hand mirror, if you happen to head out and notice a couple miles into it that your right-hand mirror isn't adjusted properly, you are SOL. I mean, you can see I'm 6 foot tall and I can't get over there to do anything with it from the driver's seat. So for feel, the steering wheel has got a very nice feel to it. It's got these comfortable lobes here, get some good grip on, and then of course it's flat across the bottom, so if you're driving a little bit lazy and you're holding it down here, very nice down there. The buttons are all very smooth, and the horn button is nice. I would like a little bit of texture on these buttons just so you can find where you are. That would be nice because I have to look down at it to make sure I'm on the right button. This whole thing's just smooth. They're big buttons that you can feel with gloves on so that you can find them. I just like a little bit of texture to them. So the steering wheel's nice, leather wrapped, stitched. Stitching's nice. It's a very comfortable steering wheel to hold in your hand. Now the dash is kind of some rigid plastic. You can see it's a little watercraft-esque, but the seats are excellent. Let's take a look at the seats. Shot of that texture, this nice black and red stitching. Good heavy hip bolsters here and side bolsters here. So the seats are real nice. They're super comfortable to sit in. Love those. The seat's also got this nice armrest here for resting your left shoulder on. It's comfortable. You get a good feel for your arms while you're driving. There's a good place to rest your elbow here. So the Slingshot is a belt-driven vehicle. This belt makes an awesome noise when the vehicle is accelerating. It's got this sort of harmonic whine that it does, and it just sounds super tough.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Before you go, please drop a comment and leave a like if you liked the video. If you didn't, tell us that too. All feedback is good feedback. On YouTube, subscribe to the channel and ring that bell so you'll know when new videos go live. On Facebook, head over to the TMW page and drop us a like there. A quick thanks is in order for the team at Brand Amp for making this a possibility, and the folks over at Polaris for their part. And special thanks to Mike and Andrea and Bruce and Jen for being such an awesome team to work with. See you next time.